Hi, as you've probably surmised by my channel's name, I like to make games. And if this is your first time tuning in, this video is actually part 3 of my devlog series where I created the world's first 360 side-scroller for my game Paradox Patrol. It's the first system that allows for intuitive manual aiming on all 3 axes, and it opens up a whole new world of exciting gameplay possibilities. In the first video, I showed how the system solves the problem of tank controls in the original Resident Evil, and as I've continued to refine and expand the system, I've added in a bunch of new features that I'm really excited to show you guys. But most notably, I accidentally solved another design flaw from the original Resident Evil, which is the fixed camera system. So when I made the game for the Jam, I designed the levels to be mostly open environments. My solution for the camera was to have it slip through natural openings or inconspicuous holes in the wall, and for a normal side-scroller that would work just fine, but because my system allows for the character to move forward and backward into the scene, that simply wouldn't cut it, because you can't have the camera clipping through the wall each time the player enters a hallway, so I knew I had to find a good solution. The standard fix for this problem in most isometric games is to make objects transparent whenever the character walks behind them. And while that works, it always felt immersion breaking to me. Like, if I walked down a hallway and a wall suddenly turned transparent, I think I'd have an existential crisis and start wondering if I was living in the Matrix. So I knew that option was off the table. Then I thought, what if I rotate the camera to face down the hallway and change the control scheme to match the new orientation? So I spent some time and I got that working, but I ran into the same issue Resident Evil has with fixed cameras. When the camera angle changes, the movement direction also changes. So if you're holding right to enter a hallway, whenever the camera switches, you're suddenly veering off into the wall instead of going straight. And that exact problem is why I struggled to get into the original Resident Evil games. It just felt so jarring and unintuitive, so I scrapped that idea as well. Then I thought, what if I have the camera travel with the character into the hallway and expand the field of view? And it kind of works, but there's still a problem. If there's enemies in the hallway, they would be off screen, and you can't fight what you can't see. So once again, I stepped away from my computer to let my brain work on it, and then it hit me, and I felt so stupid for not thinking of it sooner. Why don't I just remap the control rotation and let the player rotate the camera? And boom, problem solved. The player still holds left or right to move through the hallway, but now they can actually rotate the camera freely. And with the new remapped control rotation, they can actually look behind themselves as well. And what's cool about it is that it gives the feeling of a fixed camera system, but without the jarring drawbacks. There's a lot more going on underneath the hood as well. For instance, whenever you rotate the camera to turn around, the camera actually adjusts its position left or right of the character so that it ends up behind the character's shoulder when you're looking down the hallway. And depending on which side of the hallway you're looking, whenever you exit it, it will automatically flip the aim switch for a smooth transition. For instance, if you're looking to the left of the hallway, you'll exit facing towards the camera, or if you're looking to the right of the hallway, you'll exit facing away from the camera. If you're a current subscriber and you've seen the first 2 devlogs, you're probably looking at this and thinking, none of this looks familiar, and you'd be right. That's because I'm currently working on what happens after the first mission when Conway returns to the Paradox Patrol headquarters. I want the headquarters to be expansive and act like a central hub inside the game, so being able to navigate interior smoothly was a super important aspect for me to figure out. And I have so many cool ideas that I want to explore with the game. This game's not going to be like any other side-scroller you've played, and probably not like any other game you've played either. I want to build a rich and deep universe and have a lot of elements to the game, aside from just the side-scrolling action gameplay. Continuing on, while testing the system in one of the rooms, I looked up at the ceiling and it instantly reminded me of something. After that, I knew that I was going to have some sections where enemies come out of the ceiling, so I added in the ability to look up and down as well. The funny thing is, I never actually set out to make a survival horror game or to even fix any issues with the original Resident Evils. My vision for the game was just to be more of a sci-fi adventure, but it's giving total Dead Space vibes, and I'm now considering using this system in my other game, CRISPR, which is a survival horror game that I've been working on for about a year now. There were a lot of other technical challenges to figure out as well, like handling ceilings so that the camera ducks underneath openings, as well as changing the camera angle for whenever the character goes up and down stairs. But overall, I think it's coming together, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. Next up, I wanted to improve the aiming experience. The 360 side-scroller system is pretty unique, and I realized that not everyone is going to find the original aiming method intuitive. So I added in not one, not two, but three new targeting modes to lower the barrier to entry. The first aiming mode that I added in is a semi-automated aiming assist. And this mode still uses the laser pointer, but it will automatically detect which side of the character the enemy is on and automatically flip the targeting switch for the player. That way you don't have to worry about constantly flipping it back and forth to look towards or away from the camera. And it actually works surprisingly well, so I'm pretty happy with that. The second aiming mode I added essentially turns the game into a light gun shooter. How it works is you use an on-screen reticle, and the character will turn and face whichever target is within the reticle. There's also aiming assist built in to help make it feel smooth and responsive. Honestly, I think this mode is the one that players will gravitate towards the most because it simplifies things while still keeping it fun. And one of my Discord members actually suggested implementing gyro aiming into the game, and I think that this mode would work perfectly with that. The third mode that I added is the auto-targeting mode, and how it works is whenever you press the aim button, it will instantly lock onto the nearest enemy, and from there you can then cycle through the rest of the enemies using the mouse wheel. If you eliminate one, it will automatically jump to the next closest enemy. I think this mode is going to be perfect for players who want to enjoy the game without having to master the controls. And I think it's also going to be good for players with disability. What's nice is I actually use one of my own assets that I created and I sell on the Fab Marketplace for this system. And I never thought I'd see the day where I'd have to read my own documentation, so that was fun. But shameless plug, if you're a developer and you need a targeting system for your game, I think mine will be a good and affordable option for you. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I feel like I've made massive improvements in a short amount of time, and I'm planning to release the demo within a few weeks. So if you want to check it out, please go wishlist the game on Steam. There's also a Discord now, so feel free to join if you want to give some feedback or just follow along. Of course, there's the obligatory like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm super excited for you guys to try it out. If you enjoyed this devlog or have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them in the comments. I actually do go through and read and reply to all of them. But I hope you all take care, and I will catch you all in the next one.